when you say you're just sort of sitting there in the yard, I mean, we know that, or not everyone knows, but like everyone's got groups. You're all hanging out in a group. You're not sitting there by yourself. And as you said, you hang with your mates, probably kids growing up in Dulwich Hill or Redfern or wherever it is. But some of the Indigenous Koori boys, they're, whilst you're in their company, it's okay. But if there's a conflict, it's a major problem.
Yeah.
Did you see much conflict?
Yeah, of course. So that's mainly exists in my earlier jail time, the early 2000s till about 2010. And yeah, there's racial conflicts, and you would always have to be sitting with the race of people that you're with. And there's many fights that happened in the yards in front of me. Luckily enough, I was never part of one because I was, at that time I was with the Kooris, like I said, and I had just by chance never been in a yard where the Kooris were fighting someone else. But I've seen many fights. Biggest fight that I seen was the Lebos fight the Islanders, if you can call it that. It was really just like 100 Lebos demolishing 8 Islander lads because the numbers were, the amount of Lebanese people in jail compared to Islanders is just huge. It's like triple the amount. So, but that was a crazy fight. And we were just sitting there like just watching, and they're just like, everyone was just punching on. It's like, what?
The prison officers, what do they do? What are they doing when this is going on?
A couple of them are copping uppercuts to the head. A couple of them are running, waiting for the super screws to come. And hiding, and that's all they do. They don't get involved until the super screws come, and even then they don't get involved in such numbers. So there's the super screws they call the squad. They're usually big steroid munchers, and they do fight training, and like you wouldn't mess with them one-on-one. Like, you know, there's 4 of them. They're monsters. They'll smash you, but they're not going to go in 4-on-4.
Nah.
They always have to have the advantage. They're smart. It's work to them. They're not there to prove they're tough, although some act like it. But when it comes down to the crunch, they're like, bro, I'm not getting hurt for this. Like,
no, totally.
Yeah, so.
And they also know that someone could pull a knife or a shiv on them, and
for sure,
anything can happen.
For sure, yeah. So they wait, and then the super screws come with the guns and gas canisters, and that's a whole nother level up. And when they come, they gas everyone. Everyone gets screamed at. Guns get shot into the floor as warnings. Then everyone's on the floor, and then they'll come in. Then they'll be tough, and then they'll kick you in the face while you're on the floor.
So in other words, you got plenty of time to watch this blue between the 2 gangs.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate if you're a victim of that. Like, if I was one of those Islander lads getting kicked, each one by 20 Lebos, I would have been spewing, because like, if they want to kill you, they can kill you. It takes so long. It takes like almost 3 minutes for people to come. Like, you'll die in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So then they really can't help you. But lucky there was not enough passion in that fight that anyone was trying to kill anyone. No one got stabbed in that. It was just like a statement. But it was still like cool to watch. It was just so many people punching on everywhere. That was crazy,
Well, I mean, it sounds stupid. We all love a brawl.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as we're not,
like, you know when you watch the footy in State Origin and they all rumble?
Totally.
It's like that, but on steroids, just everywhere. And like, there's alarms going off, and it was crazy.
Yeah, like all the sensations in the world, noise, violence, movement.
A gun, pointed screws screaming. And lucky, like at that time, there was only maybe 12 of us Kooris there over in the corner. So like, we're just thinking, fuck, lucky it's not us. You know what I mean? Because that was at that time, very Lebo dominated jail. So we're just glad it was them, not us.
And do they do it because they're trying to establish a power base? I mean, is it about power base, or is it over a business transaction? What are the, I don't know specifically, but take that one for
specific. It's 20 years ago, jail fights. Like, it's nothing. That one was because an Islander lad had punched an old Lebo man in the face in another yard. So a big, strong Islander lad who was, punched a Lebo in the face in another yard. So the Lebos in this yard were just like, all right, you want to punch an old man? Let's go.
Yeah.
That's how it usually goes, like that, yeah.
It's not because they're like, there's some sort of transaction outside the walls.
Oh, it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just never really that strategic as like it's like power moves and that. It's rarely that.
Yeah.
It's rarely just over a word. It's mostly just over a word or the phone, an argument over the phone or...
Little flare-ups.
Yeah, little flare-ups, yeah.